The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce and On Location TV19 are proud to present Your Business Matters, dedicated to your business needs. The White Bear Area Chamber is a nonprofit business organization serving as an advocate for the White Bear area and its business community. Now, here is the Executive Director of the White Bear Area Chamber and the host of Your Business Matters, Tom Snell.
Each month, we interview community leaders and local business owners so you can be informed about the developments in our community. I'm pleased to welcome Suzi Hudson, Executive Director of the White Bear Center for the Arts. Suzi Hudson and I will discuss some of the amazing opportunities that the White Bear Center for the Arts offers our community. Welcome, Suzi, to our program today.
Thank you, Tom. I'm happy to be here.
Great. The first question I want to ask you is, tell me a little bit about what the White Bear Center for the Arts actually is.
Well, we're a nonprofit organization,
okay,
and we're a community arts center serving the broader region.
Yes.
We draw from over 200 zip code areas.
So not just White Bear, you draw from a larger audience than just White Bear.
So the Art Center was started back in 1968 by a group of, small group of artists who wanted to see the arts thrive in this area. And over the last nearly 50 years, the organization has both served the community but really evolved with the community and changes in this area too. But today we're serving a much larger area than White Bear community.
So it started, the White Bear Center for the Arts, and you said started with a group of local people interested in the arts or local artists, right?
Right.
And did they originally have an actual location, or did that come later?
It came much later. So the first nearly 30 years, the organization functioned as an arts council. The original name was White Bear Arts Council.
All right.
And so they were in charge of organizing community events tied to the arts, related to the arts.
Okay.
They were also a group of active artists themselves and got together to paint and kind of make connections in the community with other artists.
So now you have a really nice building right now off of Highway 61.
Right.
And around 7th Street, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, we're off Long Avenue, which is a frontage road. You access it off of Highway 61 on 8th Street. And we're on the east side of 61.
So you started out with a not very long ago, you had kind of a smaller area. Whatever precipitated your organization or this community organization to go from that to coming up with this incredible art center that's a centerpiece for not only White Bear but for our entire region?
Well, a couple of key events. In the mid-90s, the city of White Bear designated use for the Arts Council at that time of the top floor of the Armory building in downtown White Bear. And at that time, the organization redefined some of its work, became much more focused on arts education, and that coincided with some things that were happening locally with the arts in the schools. So little by little, over the next 15 years, the Arts Council then renamed itself the White Bear Center for the Arts. It had a location downtown White Bear and began offering classes taught by artists. So I started in 2002, and at that time we were offering about 30 to 50 classes a year, and saw a great potential for our community to have a more active teaching organization and to be a bigger presence in the arts and more of a unifying role for artists. We have so many working artists, professional artists in the area. So over the next 8 to 10 years, our classes just exploded.
Okay.
And our growth then led to the search for a permanent home for the arts where we could be kind of a full-fledged arts organization.
It was really an incredible venue to go from that to this really incredible setting off of Highway 61 where you're located now, and that must have taken some real dedication and work in order to make that dream actually come true.
I think it took a couple of key things. Becoming a connector for the artists within our community and tapping into the talent of our artists.
Sure.
And then also providing opportunities for the general public to interact with the arts in intentional ways.
Great.
So while we've gone from about those 40 to 50 classes per year, we now offer over 900 classes per year.
How many?
900.
900, you're going from
Correct.
50 to 900 classes.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of that growth has happened in the last 3 years with the resource of our new facility.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned too when we started out are some of the things that you do with the community. You mentioned when you started that was one of the objectives, to really reach out and get the community engaged in the arts.
Yeah.
This is kind of an open-ended question, but when you say engage the community, what are some of the options that you have with our local community? And I also wanted to ask you specifically with that question, what do you do with some of our local schools in the area?
Well, we have both publicly accessible programs and events at the Art Center. So in regards to what we do on site at our facility, we have 7 public exhibitions per year now in our gallery, which is publicly available.
Okay, seven. So that
seven,
would be
yep.
where you
So currently,
promote certain artists in the area, maybe, right?
Currently, we're partnering with the Minnesota Museum of American Art, and our show there, up until it's up through March 3rd, is featuring works from the Minnesota Museum of American Art's archives. So we have our museum quality artwork on display there that is rarely seen by the public, but this partnership has allowed us to bring it to
that's incredible.
to view.
It really is.
And each year we also do a juried art show where artists can enter work, and it is a juried process, so we're looking for kind of the best of the best to rise up, and that show is open to artists residing in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and this year will be our 44th year offering that show.
Wow.
So that Northern Light show does go all the way back to our roots in the 60s.
And then you also do some opportunities with local schools too.
Yes, that was another kind of key turning point for us as the schools were cutting back on visual arts, especially at the elementary level. 8 years ago, we began a program where the Art Center is bringing a professional artist into every one of our elementary schools and providing 6 art experiences per year. So we're reaching 3,700 kids through the school.
700.
3,700.
3,700 students.
Children between kindergarten and 5th grade. And that is a program that has been awarded the Humphrey Institute Award for Innovative Partnerships.
And for people who don't know, the Humphrey Institute is one of the key graduate programs at the University of Minnesota.
Correct, yeah. So it's a program that's really been highlighted as a model for making these art education more accessible and ensuring that the students in the White Bear schools are getting a solid base of art education before they go into the middle schools and on.
That's excellent. We're going to take a brief break. Now I have a couple of quick announcements about Chamber happenings. On February 28th, the Chamber will hold its inaugural annual meeting. This event runs from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Our keynote speaker is Hayward Donegan, the CEO of a healthcare startup company called Vitals. The company was recently featured on NBC Nightly News and headlined in Forbes magazine. For more information on our annual meeting inaugural and other incredible events by the White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce, please visit our website at www.whitebearchamber.com. With me is Suzi Hudson, the Executive Director of the White Bear Center for the Arts. I want to ask you a couple questions too, going on about community efforts that the White Bear Center for the Arts is involved in. You mentioned the issues that you have with the literally thousands of students in our area. How about some other things that you've done with the community? Are you involved at all, for example, with something called the Arts Shanty?
We are, however, the Art Shanty Project is its own organization.
Okay.
And they are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, independent of the Art Center.
Okay.
But that's a good example of the work that we do to connect our community with other arts organizations in the Twin Cities and in our area. So, you know, we were very proactive in luring them to our community 3 years ago, and we're excited to see them back on ice opening this coming weekend.
And by the way, I noticed the scarf that you got on, and I think there's an arts opportunity to talk about that a little bit.
It's a wonderful story behind the scarf, near and dear to both our mission and work to make art accessible to everyone of all abilities, and the scarf represents work being done at the Art Center by a group of women who have developmental disabilities, and they were working with TSC, which is an organization that helps find placement, work opportunities for adults with developmental disabilities, and they all said their work, they wanted to be artists. So the Art Center started working with this group of women a little over a year ago. We just celebrated their 1-year anniversary, providing open and free space for them to weave. They weave now at the Art Center 3 mornings a week in community and in connection with other artists at the Art Center. And they have been trained by Jackie O'Brien, who teaches a form of weaving that embraces the beauty of imperfection. So their work is all done on these specific looms from Japan. From Japan, yep. They're beautiful wooden handcrafted looms, and they work, several women will work on one piece in a collaborative effort, and now these scarves they've turned their group into a business where they're selling their work and paying their own way through their wages and the cost of materials, and they're on their way to their they've started their own opportunity that way. That's incredible. And you mentioned Japan. What's the connection with the scarves and Japan? Well, this type of weaving was started in Japan, and it has kind of a connection to the temporal and the art, or the beauty of the natural world and things not being perfect. So that beauty of imperfection is really apparent in their work. And Jackie O'Brien and the women of their business name is Bloom. They will be featured on Minnesota Original on February 19th.
And that's a public television
program. Right. You can also go to our website, the White Bear Center for the Arts website, and our 2016 video features this group of women working on there too.
We'll ask you for that information here as we go on with the interview.
So that's one example of how we reach out to
absolutely
the community and partner with other organizations. We're also doing some very interesting work now through a grant provided by the Minnesota State Arts Board to increase our relationships and ongoing work with the Hmong American community, and we're working with the Center for Hmong Arts and Talent in St. Paul, and bringing artists of Hmong American
wonderful
background into the Art Center to provide both programs. We've got some performances coming up, Hmong filmmakers series starting in February that we're really excited about, and looking to strengthen those ties and engagement with our community.
Yeah. Now, another question that I have is relates to, first of all, the number of people that come into your art center each year. Do you have any idea how many people might be engaged in the public?
We estimate about 10,000 come through the doors of our art center. However, annually through other community outreach and events throughout the city, we estimate that it's about 33,000 people that we
That's a
reach.
Significant number.
Yeah.
And I bring that up because the issue of economic development always comes up, and it's nice to have a beautiful art center which really puts White Bear in the centerpiece of the arts in our not only in our community but I think throughout the state of Minnesota. What I want to ask you is, when we talk about economic development, do you have any idea as far as the financial rewards that that the White Bear Center for the Arts offers our local community?
We do, and last year we participated in an economic impact study through Minnesota Citizens for the Arts, and found that through the activities of White Bear Center for the Arts alone, we're generating about $1.7 million in economic impact in our community. So the arts are an economic engine, and not to be considered as fluff in terms of how they help not only revitalize communities but bring other resources in. They are a draw to our community. You know, the Art Shanty project alone is estimated to bring perhaps another 18,000 people to our community.
Yes.
So the arts are they mean business. And, you know, while that's not our goal, it is a direct result of the work that the arts,
of what this is all about, and helping our community by bringing in actual revenue to our area.
Another interesting learning that we gained out of that study is that the work of the Art Center, the number of artists that we are hiring to teach the classes there, equate to 44 full-time jobs per year. So through all of the classes that we teach, through all of the outreach programs and artists that we employ for those activities, as well as staff on site, we're generating the equivalent to 44 full-time jobs.
That's a significant. Makes you a significant operation in our community.
Right. Yep. And when you think about how that much growth has happened, about 80% of our growth has happened in the last 7-8 years. Our registrations alone are up 87% since 2013. So, and we're just getting our legs under us in our new facility, and you know, there's an incredible amount of potential that.
Are there opportunities for members of the community to use the Arts Center for maybe some corporate event or other types of venues?
We are a nonprofit and want our resource to be available to the entire public. So we do not rent the facility out for private use. We are publicly open 6 days a week, and even on weekends we've got a beautiful walking labyrinth out back that's open 24/7. So it's almost like a.
So it's just you've got an area in the back where people can look outside.
It's a gorgeous campus of 1.5 acres, and that walking labyrinth is open at all times.
Great. Well, if somebody wants to get a hold of the White Bear Center for the Arts, what is your website and your telephone number?
Our website is www.whitebeararts.org. And our new website just went live on Friday, so check it out. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's a beautiful website that we're continuing to refine. And our phone number at the office is 651-407-0597. So we're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 are the office hours.
Yes.
And then Tuesday and Thursday evenings we're also open till 8:30.
Okay.
We're also open on Saturdays, 10 to 3.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this interview.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the opportunity to.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Suzi Hudson, for joining me today. I'm Tom Snell. Thank you for watching.
You've been watching Your Business Matters. For more information on this program or the White Bear Area Chamber, visit whitebearchamber.com or call 651-429-8593.